Hello, hello, and welcome to part 2 of solving by substitution. We're on number 8. Let's get started. So here we have one y equals equation. So we're going to take that y equals equation and we're going to substitute it in for y in the top. So it's going to look like this. Negative 7x plus 8. But instead of y, we're going to put parentheses 3x minus 2, and that equals negative 16. So I replaced the y with 3x minus 2. Our next step is to distribute. Negative 7x stays negative 7x, but we distribute that 8. 8 times 3x is 24x. 8 times negative 2, negative 16 minus 16. Next, let's combine some like terms. We'll combine the x's right here, which means we have 17x minus 16 equals negative 16. Let's add 16 to both sides. Why aren't you writing, pen? There we go. So we have 17x equals 0. And of course, we finish up by dividing both sides by 17. There we go. I don't know why my stylus is kind of acting up a little bit. Maybe I'm touching it in a weird way. X equals 0. Wonderful, we got half of our answer. Since we have a nice y equals equation here already, let's use it to solve for y. So y equals, instead of 3x, we'll have 3 times 0 minus 2. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. And then we must write it properly as a coordinate answer, x comma y, 0 comma negative 2. Okay. Number 9. There you are, number 9. We have a y equals equation on top, which means we can plug it into the equation on the bottom. So 3x minus 4, instead of y, we have parentheses, negative 3x plus 18 equals 3. Let's distribute. So we've got 3x. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12x. Negative 4 times positive 18 is negative 72. And that equals. Let's combine these like terms. 3x and 12x is 15x. Minus 72 equals 3. Add 72 to both sides. So we've got 15x if it decides to write. Excuse me, stylus. Thank you. Thank you, stylus. So we've got 15x equals 75. And then we finish up finding x by dividing both sides by 15. X equals 5. I don't know why I wrote 3. I know it's 5. Alrighty. Now that we have 5, let's plug it into the equation. The first one, because it's y equals. So y equals, instead of negative 3x, we'll have negative 3 times 5 plus 18. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15 plus 18 is positive 3. So our final answer is 5, 3. Number 10. Another y equals, let's do it. I think my tablet might be overheating. I'm going to do this. I know you can't see me. I'm talking to myself. We're going to plug that y equals into the second equation. So we have negative 4x minus parenthesis negative 8x plus 8. And that equals 0. We need to distribute, but there's no number in front of the parentheses. Do you know what invisible number is in front of the parentheses? If you thought to yourself negative 1, you're right. Negative 1 times negative 8x is positive 8x. Negative 1 times positive 8 is negative 8. And it equals 0. Let's combine these like terms. Negative 4x plus 8x is positive 4x. Minus 8 equals 0. Add 8 to both sides. 4x equals 8. And then our famous last step, divide. X equals 2. Alrighty, we have a y equals equation. Let's plug in that x. Y equals negative 8 parenthesis 2 plus 8. So instead of x, we have a 2. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16, and negative 16 plus 8 is negative 8. So our final answer is 2, negative 8. Let's go to number 11. Okay. Now number 11 is a little different. You probably noticed that 11 doesn't have a y equals. We do have a single y, so a y with a 1 in front of it in the second equation, and I'm going to use that to my advantage. I am going to rewrite this equation, if the computer will let me. You can do it, computer. I believe in you. Maybe not. Aha! 2x plus y equals 3. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides to move it over. Now, I can't actually subtract 2x from 3, but I'm going to write 3 minus 2x, because that is the furthest we can go. So, now I have a y equals that I can plug into that top equation. If you work with the bottom one, if you manipulate that, you always plug into the top. And if you manipulate the top, plug into the bottom. You don't want to plug it into the original equation. It will not give you an answer. Okay, you know that first step. Let's distribute. So we are distributing a positive 5. 5 times 3 and 5 times negative 2x. So we have 15 minus 10x equals negative 17. Combine some like terms. We got these x's to combine. 2x minus 10x is negative 8x. Then we still have the plus 15 equals negative 17. Subtract 15 from both sides. So we have negative 8x equals negative 32. And we finish by dividing both sides by negative 8. X equals 4. We have this wonderful y equals equation. Let's plug x into that. Y equals 3 minus 2 times 4 instead of 2x. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 minus 8 is negative 5. Our answer is 4, negative 5. Number 12 has the same predicament. We don't have a y equals, but we do have an equation that has a y with a 1 in front of it. So I'm going to manipulate this equation by adding 6x to both sides to make y equals 18 plus 6x that I can go ahead and take to plug in to the top equation. So we've got negative 3x plus 3 plus 3, thank you, parenthesis 18 plus 6x equals 9. Let's distribute that 3. So you've got negative 3x. 3 times 18 is 54. 3 times 6 is 18, and the x tags along. Like terms. Negative 3x and 18x give us 15. Oh, I selected the purple by accident. It gives us 15x's. So I have 15x plus 54 equals 9. Now let's subtract 54 from both sides. 15x equals negative 45. And of course we finish by dividing both sides by 15. X is negative 3. Let's plug that x into the y equals equation. So y equals 18 plus 6 times negative 3 instead of x. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. 18 plus negative 18 is 0. So our answer is negative 3, 0. Let's do number 13. Okay. Oh, that's 14. 13. Now, there's no y's that have a positive 1 in front of it, but I do see an x with a positive 1 in front of it. Do you see the x with a positive 1 in front of it? Good. It's this top one. We're going to substitute an x this time, and that is totally fine. Why not? But we do have to manipulate this equation by adding 2y to both sides. X equals 8 plus 2y. Since we use the top equation, we're going to plug it into the bottom. So we have negative, parenthesis 8 plus 2y plus 3y equals negative 11. The number that's in front of the parentheses is actually negative 1, so that's what we're distributing. Negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. Negative 1 times 2 is minus 2y. 3y stays the same. Just going to wait a little bit. There we go. We're going to combine some like terms. So that means negative 2 plus 3 is just y. So we have positive 1y, so negative 8 plus y equals negative 11. Add 8 to both sides. Y equals negative 3. Let's plug y in. 8 plus 2 times negative 3. Two times negative 3 is negative 6. 8 plus negative 6 is 2. So our answer is 2, negative 3. Okay, let's do one last problem, 14. Once again, the only one we have here is x. That's by itself. So let's use it. I'm going to add 3y to both sides. Now, of course, I cannot actually add negative 18 and 3y, so I'll just write negative 18 plus 3y. And we're going to plug that into that second equation. So we have negative 8x. Whoops, I highlighted the y out of habit. we're plugging it into x. So we have negative 8, parenthesis, negative 18 plus 3y minus 6y equals negative 6. Let's distribute that negative 8. Negative 8 times 18 is 144. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Minus 6y equals negative 6. Let's combine like terms. Negative 24y minus 6y is negative 30y. Let's subtract 144. Hopefully. There we go. So we have negative 30y equals negative 150. And we conclude this problem by dividing both sides by negative 30. Y equals 5. All right, let's finish this part up by plugging in y into our x equals equation. So x equals negative 18 plus 3 times 5. Three times 5 is 12. What? 3 times 5 is 15. Negative 8 plus negative 18 plus 15 is negative 3. So our final answer is negative 3, 5. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me or your teachers. Have a wonderful rest of whatever day it is for you. Bye-bye!